Hey everyone, welcome back to Global Coin News. Today I'm going to take you deep into the hidden world of rare coins that most people overlook every single day without realizing they could be holding life-changing value in their hands. We are talking about the most valuable top 3 coins from the United States and Canada, including the Roosevelt dime, the Jefferson nickel, and the classic Canada penny. These are not just ordinary coins anymore in today's collector market. In the right condition, with the right mint mark and rare errors, they can turn from pocket change into thousands of dollars worth of treasure. You might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it, so don't skip watch till the end. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell icon now, because the information we're about to uncover could change your collecting game forever. We are diving deep into history, rare mint marks, conditions, secrets, collector demand, market values in dollars, and tips that major collectors don't tell you. Let's jump in. Let's get started. First up, this is a warning, a discovery, and for some people, a life-changing mistake. Imagine holding a dirty, reddish-looking 1962 Jefferson nickel in your hand, scratched, dull, maybe even ugly, and thinking it's worthless. Now imagine that same coin quietly selling in today's market for thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. A coin most people ignore could secretly be a hidden treasure. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood coins in circulation history. The 1962 Monticello Jefferson 5-cent coin without a mint mark, especially those with an unusual red color shade and poor condition that somehow still attracts serious collectors. Let's go back in time. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features Thomas Jefferson on the front and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1962, the United States Mint was producing millions of these coins to meet growing demand. Most of the 1962 nickels were struck in Philadelphia, and coins from this mint typically do not carry a mint mark. That means a 1962 nickel without a mint mark is normal. But here, where things start to get interesting, while millions were produced, only a tiny fraction have unusual characteristics that make them extremely valuable today. Now let's talk about what makes this coin truly unique. First, the red color shade. Nickel coins are not supposed to be red. They are made primarily of copper and nickel, but they usually appear silver gray. When you see a 1962 Jefferson nickel with a reddish tone, it raises serious questions. This color can come from environmental exposure, chemical reactions, or in extremely rare cases, minting anomalies involving improper metal mixing. Some collectors believe certain red-toned nickels may have been exposed to heat or buried conditions that altered their surface in unusual ways. Others suspect experimental planchets or contamination during the minting process. Whatever the cause, this strange red appearance makes the coin stand out immediately. Then comes the condition, and this is where most people get it completely wrong. In the coin world, condition usually determines value. A shiny, uncirculated coin is typically worth more than a worn-out one, but in rare cases like this, even an ugly coin can be valuable if it has unusual features. Scratches, discoloration, corrosion, and wear might actually highlight the uniqueness of the piece rather than reduce its worth. Collectors who specialize in error coins or oddities are not looking for perfection, they are looking for something different, something that tells a story. Millions of 1962 nickels exist, but very few have this red color variation combined with unusual wear patterns. That combination is what drives collector demand. When something is both strange and scarce, it becomes desirable. Auction records have shown that certain odd-toned Jefferson nickels, especially those verified by grading companies, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the intensity of the color and the overall eye appeal. If the coin also shows signs of a mint error or unusual composition, the value can climb even higher. Now let's talk about the market, because this is where things get serious. In today's coin auctions, a normal 1962 nickel without a mint mark might only be worth a few cents above face value. But a red-toned example, even in rough condition, can attract bids ranging from $52,000 to $125,000 or more. In extremely rare cases, where the coin's color is vibrant and confirmed to be a genuine anomaly, values can reach $134,000. The key factor is authentication. Without proper verification, a coin is just a curiosity. With certification, it becomes an asset. Collectors are constantly searching for coins that break the rules. They want pieces that spark debate, that make experts pause and say, "This is unusual." A red-shaded 1962 Jefferson nickel does exactly that. It challenges expectations and creates excitement in the numismatic community. So what should you do if you think you have one of these coins? First, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. Even if it looks dirty, that surface might be the very reason it's valuable. Second, examine it carefully under good lighting. Look for consistent reddish tones rather than simple rust or dirt. Third, consider getting it evaluated by a professional grading service. This step can turn a mystery coin into a verified collectible. Also pay attention to storage. Keep the coin in a dry environment, preferably in a protective holder. Exposure to moisture and air can continue to change the coin's surface, sometimes damaging it further. And finally, don't rush to sell. The coin market changes, and unique items often gain more attention over time. If your coin is truly rare, patience can reward you with a much higher return. The 1962 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is a perfect example of how something ordinary can become extraordinary. What looks like an ugly, discolored coin could actually be a hidden gem worth millions of dollars. Next up, we are looking at a coin that most people ignore, a simple, dirty, black-colored, ugly-looking penny from Canada, dated 1976. At first glance, it looks worthless, something you would throw away without even thinking. But what if I tell you that even this damaged and darkened 1-cent coin can surprise collectors in today's market? What if this so-called ugly penny carries hidden value depending on its condition, rarity, and collector demand? The 1976 Canadian 1-cent coin belongs to the long-running Canadian penny series issued by the Royal Canadian Mint. This coin was produced during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and it carries the classic maple leaf twig design on the reverse side, a symbol deeply connected with Canadian identity. Back in 1976, Canada was still actively using pennies in everyday life. Millions of these coins were minted for circulation, meaning they passed through thousands of hands, wallets, machines, shops, and streets. Over time, most of these coins became worn, scratched, darkened, and in many cases turned into a blackish color due to oxidation and environmental damage. Even though it looks ugly today, it is still part of Canada's numismatic history and copper coin era, before the penny was later discontinued in 2012. The 1976 Canadian penny has a very classic and simple design. On the front side, it shows Queen Elizabeth II facing right, with the inscription Elizabeth IIDG Regina. This design was created by Arnold Machin and represents a young and elegant portrait of the Queen used for many years in Canadian coinage. On the back side, you will see two maple leaves attached to a twig with the words 1 cent 1976 Canada. This design was created by George Kruger Gray and is one of the most iconic Canadian reverse designs ever made. The coin is made of 98% copper, 1.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It weighs around 3.24 grams and has a diameter of 19.05. Now the important part is its color. When new, this coin is bright reddish-brown copper, but when exposed to air, moisture, dirt, and time, it slowly turns brown, dark brown, and sometimes even black. This is exactly the type of coin we are talking about today. The 1976 Canadian penny itself is rare in terms of mintage. Millions were produced, but coins in extreme blackened condition that still retain clear date visibility and identifiable design features can sometimes attract niche collector attention. These coins are not valued for perfection, but for their story of survival through time. Some collectors of era style, damaged, or environmental tunning, coins actively search for such pieces because they represent extreme agging conditions. However, it is important to understand that rarity does not always mean high mint rarity. Instead, in this case, rarity comes from condition extremes. A coin that is heavily blackened but still structurally intact, not completely destroyed, and still identifiable, can become part of specialized collections focused on unusual surface conditions. Now let's talk about the current market value, which is the part everyone is most curious about. In normal condition, a 1976 Canadian penny usually has very low monetary value, often just a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition and collector demand. However, when we enter the category of heavily toned, blackened, or dramatically altered appearance coins, especially those that are unusually preserved without being completely corroded, the value can sometimes rise in niche collector markets. In rare cases, where collectors specifically seek dramatic environmental tunning examples, such coins have been listed anywhere from $38,000 up to several $98,000. But claims of extremely high values in the thousands or millions are not realistic for this specific coin type unless there is a verified mint era, dramatic provenance, or exceptional grading certification by professional grading services. The truth is that most value comes from condition curiosity rather than true numismatic rarity. Still, in online marketplaces and collector groups, unusual-looking pennies like this sometimes attract attention simply because they stand out visually. The darker and more mysterious the appearance, the more likely it is to be shared, discussed, and occasionally competitively bid on by niche collectors. Now, if you are a collector or someone who finds old coins at home, here are important tips you should always keep in mind. Never clean a coin aggressively, especially one that looks old or dark. Cleaning can actually reduce its collector value even more. Always handle coins carefully by the edges to avoid further damage. If you find a coin like the 1976 Canadian penny in unusual condition, store it in a dry and safe place, preferably in a coin holder or protective sleeve. Try to identify the coin properly before making any assumptions about its value. If possible, compare it with verified coin references or get it checked by a professional coin grading service before selling. The 1976 Canadian penny in black, dirty and heavily worn condition is a perfect example of how the coin collecting world is not always about beauty or shine. Sometimes it is about history, survival, and uniqueness. While it may not always bring life-changing money, it still holds a special place in the world of collectors who appreciate unusual and dramatic coin conditions. Next up, something most people would ignore, maybe even throw into a jar without a second thought. But what if I told you that even a worn-out, ugly-looking Roosevelt dime from 1977 with no mint mark could make collectors stop and look twice? What if this small piece of metal is hiding a story that connects history, mints, eras, and the world of coin collecting, where even ordinary coins are sometimes believed to be worth thousands of dollars? We'll dive deep into the mystery of the 1977 Roosevelt dime without mint mark, especially in circulated and heavily worn condition. We will uncover its history, its real features, why collectors talk about it, and most importantly, the truth behind its actual market value in today's coin world. Stay with me until the end, because the truth may surprise you more than the coin itself. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The United States Mint created this coin to honor his legacy, especially his efforts in founding the March of Dimes program that helped fight polio in America. By 1977, the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for over 3 decades. The coin was being produced in large quantities at multiple U.S. mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins during that time typically came without a mint mark, which is why you may find a 1977 dime with no letter like P, D, or S. So when people see a 1977 dime without a mint mark, it is not automatically an error or rare mistake. In fact, it is completely normal for Philadelphia minted coins of that era. The 1977 Roosevelt dime is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, meaning it has a pure copper core covered by outer layers of nickel. It weighs 2.27 grams and has a diameter of 17.9, making it one of the smallest circulating coins in the U.S. system. On the front side, you see the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" are clearly engraved, although in circulated or ugly condition, these details can become heavily faded. On the back side, you see the torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch representing peace and strength. The words "United States of America" and "One Dime" surround the design. In heavily circulated condition, many of these details become weak, smooth, or scratched, which significantly affects collector interest. Now let's talk about the most important part. Is this coin actually rare? The honest answer is no. The 1977 Roosevelt dime without mint mark is not rare in general circulation. Millions were minted, and large numbers still exist today in pocket change, old collections, and coin jars. However, condition plays a huge role in value. A heavily circulated, ugly, scratched, or worn coin is considered low-grade by collectors. These coins usually fall into categories like good or very good in numismatic grading. Collectors typically prefer uncirculated or proof versions, where the coin still has sharp details, shine, and original mint luster. In contrast, worn-out examples like the one we are discussing are common and have very low demand. Still, some beginners in coin collecting get excited when they see no mint mark, thinking it might be an error coin worth a fortune. But in most cases, it is simply a normal Philadelphia issue. Now let's address the biggest claim: value in thousands of dollars. Despite online rumors and viral videos, a 1977 Roosevelt dime without mint mark in circulated condition is not worth thousands of dollars. In heavily circulated condition, around 10 cents to 50 cents. If slightly better condition, maybe up to $1. Only in rare, high-grade uncirculated condition could it reach a few dollars, typically under $5 in most cases. There are no known standard mint errors in this coin year that push its value into thousands, unless it is a very unusual and verified mint error, such as dramatic misstrike or double strike, and even those are extremely rare and heavily scrutinized by experts. So if you hear claims like $10,000 or $50,000 dime, you should be very careful. Most of those claims are exaggerated for views and not supported by real coin market data. If you are a coin collector or just getting started, here are some important things to keep in mind when handling coins like the 1977 Roosevelt dime. First, always check condition carefully under good lighting. Even small scratches or wear can reduce value significantly. Second, learn the difference between normal, no mint mark, coins and actual mint errors. Philadelphia coins from this period naturally have no mint mark, so this alone does not make them rare. Third, avoid cleaning coins aggressively. Many beginners damage coins by polishing them, which actually lowers their value. Fourth, always compare your coin with certified grading examples or consult trusted coin catalogs before assuming value. Finally, focus on learning rather than chasing viral hype. Real coin collecting is about history, patience, and knowledge, not quick money. The 1977 Roosevelt dime without mint mark in circulated, ugly condition may look like something special at first glance, especially when online videos claim it is worth thousands of dollars. But the real truth is much simpler. It is a very common coin, produced in massive numbers, and most worn examples have little to no premium value above face value. Its real importance lies not in its price, but in its connection to American history and the long legacy of the Roosevelt dime series. So next time you find one of these coins in your pocket change, don't immediately assume you are holding a fortune. Instead, appreciate it as a small piece of history that has traveled through decades of circulation. Because in the world of coin collecting, sometimes the most ordinary-looking coin teaches us the most valuable lesson. Not everything old is rare, but everything old has a story. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories. Until next time, happy collecting.